let's take a look at how to calculate compound interest. What is compound interest? Well, compound interest is, we can demonstrate it with this example. Imagine that we invest $100 and its interest rate is 10% annually compounded. So, to start with, 10% of 100 is $10. So 10% of 100 is $10, meaning if we start with $100, after 1 year, we'll have 10 more, $110. Now this is where compounding comes in. Now, what the bank will do is take 10% of our new amount of money, 10% of $110, and if we multiply 0.1 times 110, we get that that's $11. So for the following year, we add $11 to our account, and we'd end up with $121. From there, the same thing would happen. We'd get 10% of $121, which would be 12.10 cents, well, $12.10, and we'd add that. So we'd end up with $133.10, and it'd keep going. Each time, the 10% is calculated from the new amount of money. Now, rather than doing this by hand over and over, there is a formula that helps us to do this, and it is this formula: B equals P times, in parentheses, 1 plus R to the T power. So what do each of these mean? Well, B would be our balance, or our final amount of money. P is our principal, our starting amount. R is our interest rate as a decimal. So remember, you can take a percent and divide it by 100, or move the decimal 2 places to the left. But we want to write this as a decimal, and T is our time in years. So we're going to look at one example of how to calculate our final balance if we're given these things. So Barry has $400 in a savings account. The account earns 7% compounded annually. So there's our keyword that tells us we're using this formula up here, and this formula. And to the nearest cent, how much will Barry have after 3 years? So our formula is B equals P times 1 plus R to the T. Our P is $400. That's what we started with. R is 7%, but we don't want it as a percent, we want it as a decimal, so it's 0.07. And our T is 3 years. So we can plug all these things into our equation. 400 times, parentheses, 1 plus 0.07, and it's all to the that's all to the third power. And we can plug that in our calculator. So in your calculator, a scientific calculator, a graphing calculator, you can write 400 times, parentheses, 1 plus 0.07. We'll close our parentheses, and we hit the caret button. It's a little missing here, but it should look like this button here. We'll hit that caret button, and we'll put to the third power. And we get our answer, 490.0172. It's money. They tell us to round to the nearest cent. So 490, and the 7 tells us we'll round up to 2 cents. So $490.02. So this is what we do to get a money amount from compound interest. This is the formula that we use, and if we have the starting amount, the interest, and the time then we can figure out how much we can earn. Now, try the practice example, the practice assignment, and once you've passed that, then you can go on to the test.